Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Chicken is such a ubiquitous and diurnal part of our diet and our lives that sometimes we take it for granted. From a warm homemade breakfast of scrambled eggs to a hearty dinner time stir fry, chicken is a staple source of protein in almost every country in the world. Once introduced, the chicken quickly propagated and was traded throughout the New World for its nutrition, hardiness, and lucrative profit. During the Industrial Revolutions, assembly lines and grand scale farms expedited the production of chickens. In the US, a myriad of fast food restaurants and companies formed around the chicken business, such as Chick-fil-A and KFC. Recently, in 2012, chicken has trumped beef as the most consumed form of meat in the US, with a consumption of 60 pounds per capita. That's nearly 25 billion pounds of chicken consumed by the US in a year alone.
Just 20 miles north of Mill Creek lies one of the dazzling beacons of the chicken industry. The small city of Gainesville might only have a population of 40,000, but don't be fooled. It accounts for a shocking 14% of the U.S.'s total annual chicken output. However, this Rome was certainly not built in a day. It all began with one man. In the 1930s, a Gainesville feed salesman named Jesse Jewell offered North Georgia farmers a deal. He would sell them chicks and feed on credit. After the chicks matured, Jewell's company, J.D. Jewell, would buy back the adult chickens, called broilers, at a price that would cover his costs but also guarantee the farmers a profit. Once Jewell contracted enough farmers to produce broilers for him, he invested in his own processing plant and hatchery. Just a decade later, World War II expedited the growth of the Georgia poultry industry. The War Food Administration reserved all processed chicken in North Georgia, guaranteeing Jewell a mass buyer. In 1954, Jewell's addition of a feed mill and rendering plant finally completed the vertical integration of his company. In other words, Jewell now controlled all steps of chicken production from the birth of chickens to the rendering of their meat to their exportation. Thus, Gainesville became a frenzied powerhouse for chicken production. In 1998, Georgia emerged as the top broiler producing state in the country, and in 2012, the state continued to rank first in production of broilers and second in chicken eggs. In fact, Georgia produced over 29 million pounds of chicken and roughly 11.8 million eggs on a typical day in 2012. Today, over a fourth of the working population in Gainesville is employed by a company related to chicken production. Furthermore, Gainesville's booming poultry industry contributes to $28 billion of Georgia's annual revenue in meat production. The industry is so crucial to the Georgia economy that there even exists a chicken caucus made of Georgia congressmen which represents chicken farmer sentiments on Capitol Hill.
The idea for Poultry Park was first established in the mid-1970s during a casual conversation between Homer Wilson and Abbott Massey, former chancellor and president of the Georgia Poultry Federation, respectively. Driving together through Gainesville, they gazed upon the landscape and observed a slight hill that they thought would be a great place for a chicken monument. However, their proposal for that location was turned down by transportation officials, and eventually they decided on a different, more fitting location for the chicken monument, on Jesse Jewell Parkway, named after the figure who revolutionized the poultry industry. The county provided the land for the monument's home, Poultry Park, and even promised to provide maintenance through the Parks and Recreation Department. The Georgia Poultry Federation offered funds for the erection of the monument, and several other poultry and locally based companies also contributed to the project. The design of the obelisk with a rooster on top was created by the Georgia Marble Company. The star of the monument, the life-size rooster on top, was modeled after a chicken statue brought back from Italy by Wilson and his wife Edna. Established in 1977, the monument was engraved with the words Georgia Poultry Park on the front end, and Gainesville, Georgia, the poultry capital of the world, on the other. On the backside of the monument's base, there is a brief description of Gainesville's role in the chicken industry.
The purpose of the monument is to celebrate and acknowledge the poultry industry, which is integral to Gainesville's local economy. Poultry Park is effective in achieving this purpose through its incorporation of numerous rhetorical strategies such as symbolism, audience appeals, and comparison. The chicken's placement 25 feet in the air at the top of the obelisk symbolizes its domination above other industries in Gainesville, and its material, bronze, symbolizes superiority and elegance. Moreover, the monument also clearly accentuates the prominence and importance of the chicken through audience appeals. Its inclusion of the title, the poultry capital of the world, acts as an appeal to ethos since it suggests that Gainesville is a leader in the poultry industry. Moreover, the monument appeals to pathos by instilling a sense of pride or hunger in viewers when they see the life-size rooster at the top of the monument. Like a compass, whose four arms spread out in all directions, the four spires which jut out from the base of the monument demonstrate how Gainesville has spread its influence not only throughout Georgia, but also extensively across the world, as the influence of the chicken industry can be seen in the diets of people worldwide. The location of the monument is apropos since it abuts a street named after the man who led Gainesville in the chicken industry, Jesse Jewell, and is found in the nexus of Gainesville, the city being celebrated. Although the monument appeals to chicken lovers across the world, the citizens of Gainesville, and their pride in their city, it fails to recognize the viewpoints of its opposers, including, but not limited to, vegetarians, animal activists, and environmentalists.
Despite its enormous success within Gainesville and the southeastern region of the United States, the poultry industry has been no stranger to controversy, oftentimes opposing the values and beliefs of vegetarians, vegans, animal rights activists, and even medical professionals. In order to meet the demands of an ever-growing global population and minimize production costs, mass-produced industries rely heavily on growth-promoting drugs for large-growing birds. In fact, it only takes chickens 6 to 7 weeks to process, weighing a fifth more than chickens raised during the mid-20th century, the era of Jesse Jewell. These incredibly enlarged chickens are susceptible to numerous diseases due to their fatter wings and breasts, including osteoporosis and ascites, a condition where fluid from the liver accumulates in the abdomen as the heart and lungs struggle to pump oxygen-rich blood throughout the body. On top of ethical concerns, human health and environmental concerns bring about contentious debate regarding the poultry industry. Millions of pounds of antibiotics are fed to the chickens to prevent the spread of disease in confined, windowless areas. However, the vast majority of these antibiotics are in the feces of the chickens. Chicken fecal matter, which contains both antibiotics and fecal bacteria, usually ends up in waterways, not only contaminating the surrounding environment, but also aiding in antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic resistance diminishes the effectiveness of modern-day antibiotics in fighting bacterial diseases such as Salmonella and Campylobacter. Despite potential negative effects of chicken production methods, people should continue to consume chicken since it provides numerous nutritional benefits, such as protein and vitamins and minerals, and can help in weight and blood pressure control. This being said, it is important that safer, more humane production methods are practiced in the chicken industry. Current methods of mass production prove to be gruesome and unethical, prompting outcry from individuals who may not even call themselves animal rights activists. Although boycotting the poultry industry may appear unrealistic to some who prefer scrambled eggs over an egg replacement, injustices found in mass production industries highlight our ability as humans to separate ourselves from the rest of the animal kingdom in such a way that promotes insensitivity toward other organisms. These injustices call for a change in perspective regarding the way in which we view other beings.
Overall, Poultry Park teaches us that although mass production can be influential in boosting an economy and providing products for a larger consumer base, its future use should be more conservative and thoughtful of the effects on the environment and on the source of the product, in this case, the chicken.